As we round out this year, we're looking at some of the most impactful NewsNation Prime investigations that took me on the ground across the country, the exclusives, the people who have resonated with you most. In California, I introduced you to 5 women who were formerly incarcerated, telling their story of surviving a federal prison so notorious for sexual abuse, it was called the Rape Club. They say the cells, the hallways, even the prison church wasn't safe.
I pulled over and just cried because the abuse started here.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting to come back and to see the prison still standing.
Don't cry. It's so good to see you.
It was hands down the Rape Club.
It was a dark graveyard for us.
And when they tried to report the abuse, they say they were silenced. Some thrown into solitary confinement, others, their release dates postponed in an effort, they say, to cover up what was really going on. Then on the ground in St. Louis, we reported on secret government tests carried out on thousands of Americans.
They didn't ask for our permission. We didn't ask for them to spray us. My government used me like I was a guinea pig.
Residents telling me they still remember a mysterious fog. Children would run through it. Mothers would try to close their windows against it. The U.S. Army spraying a chemical that contained cadmium, a substance now known to be a human carcinogen, over a housing project with what critics say was no warning or consent. Those residents say they believe their government turned them into human test subjects. The Army now admitting it happened, but still not admitting harm. But we start our look back with our exclusive on the Area 51 veterans this year. I met with them in the Nevada desert. They believe they were exposed to radiation during classified missions near Area 51 in the mid-'80s to early 90s. Their work so top secret, the Department of Defense still will not acknowledge their service on the range, meaning these veterans who are getting sick, some dying of cancer, say they can't get the help and benefits they need. These vets still pleading for government transparency.
They keep us classified to protect themselves.
A group of Air Force veterans and a DoD contractor say they have been sickened, even disfigured, after being stationed in the desert in the mid-'80s to early 90s. Did you have any idea what you were being exposed to?
None. None of us knew.
These veterans say they served at the Nevada Test and Training Range, which encompasses the infamous Area 51, a remote spot that hosted nuclear testing both underground and atmospheric. Since the 1950s, their work so secret, there would be no record that the men ever served in the windswept desert.
It was the technology behind it. That's what we were there to make sure nobody got.
A DoD contractor who worked at the base at the same time as these vets sickened.
Yeah, they took his teeth out first because they had to scrape out a lot of cancer.
They had to scrape out a lot of cancer.
2 cancers, 80% of his tongue removed, along with his vocal cords, all of his teeth. He lives on a feeding tube. The veterans tell NewsNation their medical claims are being denied by Veterans Affairs. The work so top secret, their records are what's called data masked, as if they were never there.
It's like a kick in the gut. It's just a matter of betrayal.
After our story aired this year, legislation was introduced to help these veterans, and we followed them to D.C. We continue to track their journey as Congress is now listening after our reporting.
What I saw was disturbing. I am angered. I am just very upset that you're having to fight your own government. So I stand as your ally. I will push legislatively. I will push the secretary.
Time is of the essence. Today, the Invisible Enemies memorial list stands at more than 527 names. We will keep tracking their story. From Nevada to California, another NewsNation exclusive that so many of you reacted to. A federal prison commonly called the Rape Club exposed.
This is Mark.
How many of you were sexually assaulted at FCI Dublin? What's going through your mind?
I'm sorry. It's embarrassing to tell people that what we went through is real.
One of the biggest cases of abuse ever at a U.S. prison happened here, and for the first time, we're hearing their stories. These women say at Federal Correctional Institution Dublin, from the guards to the warden, even the prison church wasn't safe. NewsNation spoke to Wendy Ponzo, who alleges that Chaplain James Theodore Highhouse abused her.
4 times. I was 140 pounds when all this occurred. I ate myself up to over 200 pounds. If I figured if I became ugly, nobody else would want me. Nobody else in the prison system would come at me, and that wasn't true. I still don't go to church at all. I don't pick up my Bible. I can't.
As of April, the chaplain who pled guilty to 4 counts of sexual abuse is one of 8 former FCI Dublin correctional officers charged in federal court for sexually abusing women behind bars. 5 pled guilty, including Chaplain Highhouse, sentenced to 84 months in prison. The warden at the top, Ray J. Garcia, was convicted by a jury and sentenced to 70 months in prison. Yvonne Palmore says she remembers the warden standing over her after she was beaten by a group of guards.
And you woke up and you saw the warden doing what?
Standing over me, filming my body.
Your naked body?
Naked.
And what were the other inmates screaming at you?
He's filming your Miss P, Miss P. And I happened to look up and he's standing over me with this smirk on his face. And I woke up in the hospital, but I had bruises from head to toe, boot prints, actual boot prints on my body for months. So they hid me in the shoe.
What was the longest period of time that you were in solitary?
7.5 months.
And they told your family that you were dead?
I was dead.
Darlene Baker still can't sleep after what happened. In a federal lawsuit filed last June, she claims to have been sexually abused by a medical staff member at FCI Dublin.
What happened?
I get a shot every 2 weeks for a pretty severe autoimmune disorder. And I went in to get my shot. And he said, oh, go on back to where the refrigerator is, into the back medical room. And I didn't know it, but he had then locked the front door, pushed me hard against the wall. And it was a violent type of episode. And I kind of, I don't know, blacked out. And when I came back, when there was knocking on the door, and he had finally stopped, and my shirt and bra was up to my neck, and my pants were down.
She says she tried to report the assault, and the retaliation began. Then the day came she was supposed to go home.
Your release was canceled and then extended for 8 months.
Yes.
She says phone calls, emails, and personal visits were cut off. She became determined to be the whistleblower who would bring this all down.
I have a legal background. I'm going to report what I'm seeing.
She did, sending meticulous documentation through another inmate's mail to her family, who sent it to Congresswoman Jackie Speer. Information that would later be critical in building evidence, though that medical staff member is not one of the 8 charged.
I do have really bad nightmares every single night, and I think it's because I know my offender is free.
Because he told you he would find you.
Yeah, and he's still out. There's a whole bunch of them like that.
Since these women shared their stories, the fight for justice continues. Survivor Wendy Ponzo pushing for legislation that would require all correctional officers to wear body cameras at all times. And then our reporting took us to St. Louis, exposing a secret government test carried out on a neighborhood. The residents telling me they can still picture the fog.
That's exactly what it looked like, a thick fog.
It was summertime and it was hot. We would just run through it as fast as we could and try to just cool ourselves off. It stuck to you.
The spray was so foul as far as the odor. It made some of us have headaches, nausea, dizziness.
That's what I remember. It made me sick.
It wasn't the weather. It was an eerie smoke descending from rooftops, rolling from the backs of trucks.
Regular flatbed truck, but it had a big machine on the back. And it had a big nozzle that really sprayed a fog you couldn't even see through. It was that thick. And it really, we felt it as it would adhere to our skin. And as far as the guys on top of the buildings, they tried to portray them to us as maintenance workers. But we was like, what is a maintenance worker doing? And basically a hazmat suit. And they had masks and goggles.
In the 1950s and 60s, in secret, the U.S. Army sprayed zinc cadmium sulfide into the air of a St. Louis housing project, a largely black neighborhood called Pruitt-Igoe.
It was a lose-lose situation for us in Pruitt-Igoe. We were subjects. We were subjects.
They didn't ask for our permission. We didn't ask for them to spray us. My government used me like I was a guinea pig.
We're standing at where Pruitt-Igoe used to be here in St. Louis, and it's hard to believe more than 10,000 people used to live here. As we bring our drone up, you can see it's mostly just an empty lot now, overgrown with trees. This used to be filled with 33 high-rise buildings. It was all demolished in 1976. And according to the National Research Council, St. Louis was chosen for spraying experiments because it had similar characteristics to Soviet targets like Moscow in terms of population density and terrain and proximity to a river. The government now admits to a secretive series of Cold War tests, including one dubbed large area coverage. More than 30 tests conducted across the U.S. and Canada, spraying zinc cadmium sulfide from planes, rooftops, and vehicles to simulate how a biological attack might spread, all to prepare for potential warfare against the Soviets.
Many of us been in the military and had top secret clearances. We know how it works.
We have died for America. We have fought for America.
You are a veteran.
I am United States Air Force veteran.
Dr. Starks, you're a veteran as well,
Yes, I am. I'm an Air Force veteran also.
Is there a sense of betrayal here?
Definitely, definitely.
They want to know if those secret tests have anything to do with what they're observing with their own eyes.
I lost my 2 older siblings to cancer. I lost a brother last month.
I've been diagnosed recently with a rare form of lymphoma.
I had cancer of the left kidney, had partial removal of my left kidney.
And we met with a researcher who's dedicated her career to declassifying documents about this government experimentation. We picked up where her research left off, filing a FOIA request to try to declassify what she believes could be a key report called Joint Quarterly Report 5. The Army never responded to our FOIA request. In other words, a constructive denial. We are appealing that denial. I will keep investigating this story. And one more mention as we look back at this year, our NewsNation Prime special Growing Broke about forever chemicals destroying American farmland and infiltrating our food supply was nominated for multiple Emmy Awards and took home an Edward R. Murrow Award this year. I am so grateful NewsNation does this kind of storytelling, and I'm looking forward to much more reporting in the new year.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.